The row concerns a transgender-themed BBC video aimed at young children. It's a video diary of an 11-year-old, a fictional 11-year-old called Amy, who was born Ben.
How's this going to work? To my old friends, I'm Amy, who used to be Ben. My worry is that one of the new kids finds out that I'm transgender, makes a big deal of it, tells everybody, and it freaks them all out. All I want to do at my new school is fit in, like all the other new girls, not to be picked on or bullied out of fear or ignorance. Tashi, don't want to go to school to Mars. Can we just eat ice cream instead? Let me think for a minute. How about a healthier option?
Now, the question is simple. How helpful is it to introduce very young people to the idea of gender fluidity? Some worry it'll simply confuse or plant ideas into children who may be different but not trans. So let's talk about this to Stephanie Davis-Arai from Transgender Trend, which is a group of parents who are concerned about the current trend to diagnose gender non-conforming children as transgender, and Susie Green from Mermaids, which is a charity that campaigns for the recognition of gender dysphoria in young people. Thanks for coming in, both of you. Susie, tell us about your daughter's experience. At what age did she broach the subject and say, look, I don't want to be a boy, I think I'm a girl?
Really, I sort of noticed that she didn't fit in with what I expected from a typical little boy from sort of when she was really sort of 18 months to about 2.5, 3. But to be honest, I just thought I had a very sensitive little boy who would probably grow up to be gay. And it was when she was 4 and we were sat watching television one day, and I don't even know where it came from, but she just said to me, Mummy, I need to tell you something. And I asked her what, and she said to me, Mummy, God's made a mistake and I should have been a girl.
Really that young?
4.
Yeah. Now, did she ever waver through the years after that?
No. No, she was bullied incessantly. She was told by me constantly, from when she came out with that first statement to when she completely, reiterated it time and time again, that actually it was absolutely fine for boys to like girl things, and that didn't mean that she had to be a girl. And her, her response to that was, no, that's not it.
And you reject the idea that a young person would be kind of suggested into taking the identity of
I don't really see that gender is that fragile, that you can make a child conform by just presenting them with the possibility that that's an option.
And just to finish the story, she has no regrets now.
Oh, good Lord, no.
Yeah, right. Stephanie, that just sounds like a very straightforward story. And why wouldn't you just accept the child?
Well, I don't want to comment on individual stories. I never do. So I want to talk more generally about what we're teaching children, and children at the age of 4 who can have no idea what you mean by changing gender. And we conflate the terms gender and sex, and actually it's not possible to change from male to female. That's a biological impossibility. And what we're teaching children, you can't change your, and your reproductive system and your sex characters. In a but you can express yourself. Gender means a socially constructed idea of what boys should behave, how boys should behave and dress, and how girls should behave and dress. That's fluid, and we should encourage boys can wear dresses, girls can have cropped hair and like gaming.
So what's your point then, Stephanie? Because I don't understand what you're...
Because what we're teaching children, and the BBC film sort of shows that clearly, is that you can change from boy to girl. We're calling it gender, but we're not being honest with children. And I think when we give children information, which is the BBC's job, we need to make sure that information is accurate.
Are you not rejecting the whole idea of transgender in saying that?
No.
But in what way are you not rejecting it? Because there are lots of people who identify as the opposite gender.
I think we need to have great caution in how we apply this theory to children. In the past, we called it transsexual, which I think is a more honest word. What we're doing with children, if we're calling them transgender, the treatment pathway is the same as transsexual. It's cross-sex hormones, not cross-gender hormones. It leads to children being sterilised and on medication for life in order to be their authentic selves.
Is that correct, or...?
Well, no, I think that in terms of the way that these young people are assessed, they go through very, very careful assessment before any medical intervention is offered. That's never before puberty has at least begun and got through to a certain stage. And the fact is that we know that conversion therapy, which is the therapy to try and teach young people to be happy and to accept their birth gender and to live as such, we know it doesn't work. We know it.
But look, there must be some empirical answer to this question. How many people start down the path that your daughter did and then say it was the wrong thing for me to do? I mean, you've experienced in this area, you're working for campaign group, you must know of people. Is it a large number? Or
I would say we've got over 800 parents on our parents group and about 200 young people on our teens group. And I would say that with the parents who have children who have gender dysphoria, not who are gender non-conforming or do cross-gender play or whatever, that's something entirely different.
But the ones who seem more serious about it.
The ones who say, this is not me.
How many regret it?
I've probably seen about 6.
Is that...
The figure from all the studies and meta-studies is around 80%.
80?
And 80.
No, that's the base.
They can't be that different.
That's old studies, that's based on data that includes gender.
That is a meta-study of all the studies, and some of them do include, as you say, gender non-conforming children. But the fact is that we don't know which children will desist and which will persist. Even the most extreme cases will desist. We do
know that with very careful treatment schedules, we know that with very careful assessment and very careful blocking medication to pause puberty, and that is completely reversible, that young people who go through that come out and they are better socially functioning, less depression, anxiety, and we know that they have far better outcomes going into their adult lives.
We have no long-term research or clinical studies to show no long-term outcomes.
They're dealing with young people
treatment.
who are in their 20s and 30s.
We don't know what
we need
effect...
to leave it here, but actually these are factual questions to which there should be answers.
It's not an evidence-based treatment for children. We have no evidence.
Leave it there. Thank you both very much indeed.
Thank you.